Thank you, Steve. Representatives from the ride-sharing app Uber were in Albany today, urging lawmakers to pass legislation that would allow the service to operate here in the capital region. Today, we learned just how many jobs the company claims it would create and why the Albany County Sheriff is on board.
You could call Uber a modern form of the traditional taxi, already wildly popular in cities across the U.S. Today, the company and its supporters came to Albany to fight to be allowed in upstate.
Our neighbors in Connecticut and New Jersey have had Uber for years, yet places like Rochester and Syracuse are missing out.
Uber says it would hire 13,000 upstate drivers in the first year, 700 in the Albany area alone. The company is pushing lawmakers to pass ride-sharing legislation that would allow it to happen, legislation more extensive than what was proposed during the last session.
That would take things that Uber does, like third-party background checks, $1 million of insurance on all rides, and kind of make them the standard for any other company that wants to operate in this way.
Right now, the law doesn't allow for that. Uber drivers use their personal car to drive. They also choose their work hours, logging into the app when they're available. The additional insurance needed to work is covered by the company. The driver pays to maintain their vehicle. Uber says it takes 25% of the fare. The driver keeps the rest. Claudette McKenzie is a part-time Uber driver in Connecticut.
Uber is a big plus for me. It helps supplement my income a lot.
Sheriff Craig Apple says he supports Uber because he believes it'll help crack down on drunk driving.
Like in Seattle, for example, there was a 10% decrease in DWI arrests.
Troy restaurant owner Vic Christopher believes it'll help business.
The ride sharing would certainly help alleviate the parking constraints in our downtown and bring new customers to our business district.
But Uber and its supporters are up against New York taxi drivers. A group of them recently protested Uber in the Capitol, saying the app will hurt their livelihoods.
Uber is touring upstate New York to draw up support and even has an online petition drafted to get the rideshare legislation passed next year. Uber already has 26,000 drivers in New York City, which has already passed its own laws to allow for the service.